Everybody, Douglas Blair Roberts here, the Super Vader 400, and of course the Brown Skin Human, coming back at you in another video. And this time, this is my intro, this is my second intro to my series of Disney Channel sitcom, Disney Channel sitcom reviews, the late 2010s edition, the late 2010s sitcoms. There will be another intro video for the retro Disney Channel sitcoms, but this is the late 2010s right here, the late 2010s sitcoms, particularly Sydney to the Max, Cooper and Cammy Ask the World, Gabby, Durran and the Unsittables, and Raven's Home. And I'm thinking about including Bunked, the newest season, the seasons 3 and 4 of Bunked, and the newest Disney Channel sitcom, Just Roll With It. Just Roll With It. These right here, these are remakes. These are webcam remakes of my narration reviews, where I go more in depth, talk more in depth about the actors, the actresses, and the sitcoms, the narration reviews, which those will be in the description box below for people who want to see those. Those were just short reviews giving my thoughts on these awesome series. This is me talking about these series after watching multiple episodes and their seasons in their entirety. So with that being said, let's get started right now. We can do what we want if we put our minds to it. Hey everybody, it's time for the first part It's time for the first part, season 1 review and overview of the Disney Channel comedy, science fiction comedy adventure series, Gabby, Durran, and the Unsittables. This is also a rant. This started off as a review, as a short review, just like with Sydney to the Max, a short review and overview of the entire series, both season 1 and 2, and my thoughts on the not potential but confirmed season 3, only to find out 6 days later this show was canceled. They canceled this show on a cliffhanger. After a huge teaser at the end of season 2, decide to cancel this show. Now, which I'm going to get to in the end, there were several factors that led to this cancellation of the show. I'm going to shoot down each of them when I get to the end. But the biggest one, in my opinion, is, of course, things I don't like about this show. Just like with Sydney to the Max, Cooper and Cammy Ask the World, just roll with it. And all the Disney Channel shows, they're abysmal ratings. Disney Channel used to get in the 4s, 5s, 6s, and sometimes even 7s. Managed to get a 7. Disney Channel, you go back and watch the old Disney Channel movies, the old Disney Channel sitcoms, they were monster ratings. And you look at here, you can barely get a 1. The last thing to get at least a 1 or higher were zombies and upside down magic. This awesome new exciting Disney Channel era, which is already coming to an end, and a new one is starting. A newer one is starting. No one is watching these awesome shows. Because of that god-awful 2011-16 era, where they weren't even trying. They're just throwing shit at the wall. And like I said, it was 2017 when you started trying again, with Raven's Home and Andy Mack, and that opened the door for much more serious, complex, more fun, exciting comedy series with strong comic timing and strong writing, with great actors and great actresses. This show, like Sydney to the Max, Cooper and Cammy Ask the World, was only 2 to 3 years old, and the show is already canceled. Yeah. So, the cancellation of this show, and of course, the abysmal ratings which led to the cancellation of this show are two things I don't like. Now let's get to everything I like. When Sydney to the Max, Cooper and Cammy Ask the World went off, days later, during the afternoon, this show popped up on the Disney Channel TV guide, and I decided to check it out. This show was also in commercials, and I liked what I saw. I love the sets. The low budget special effects, the actors and actresses, and from the opening theme song, probably my favorite and best part of this show, that awesome Kylie Control I Do My Thing theme song. From the opening theme song, I was immediately hooked. Hooked on the show. The theme song is probably my favorite part of the show. While not as exciting as the other Disney Channel sitcoms, this is the most complex and suspenseful, since it's a science fiction comedy drama slash adventure. The show is a cross between Wizards of Waverly Place, only aliens instead of wizards, warlocks, and everything associated with that genre. Wizards of Waverly Place, Disney Channel's previous second Hispanic series, Stuck in the Middle, except I think this is way better than Stuck in the Middle. Malcolm in the Middle, the sitcom, the legendary sitcom of the late 90s and early 2000s, Malcolm in the Middle. What's after Malcolm in the Middle? Oh yeah, Nickelodeon's newest show, Loud House and the Casa Grande series, and Phil of the Future, because it's a science fiction show, science fiction based show, and science fiction comedy based show, and the X Files, a Disney PG X Files, and what was that other show? What was that other quote unquote show? Oh yeah, the various live action and Canadian television series of the 90s and 2000s is what this show is, because even though it's a Hispanic American based show, it was shot in Canada. The whole thing, the humor, the set pieces, and the plot feels like something out of a Canadian live action or animated television program. So that's what this was about. This is the only sitcom not produced by It's a Laugh, Disney Channel sitcom not produced by It's a Laugh Productions. And one of the many things I love about this sitcom, it doesn't use any form of laugh track or laughter in the background. No laughter. Yeah, instead of having an audience laugh or a device telling an audience to laugh, or since you can't get the worst one, since you can't get laughs on your own, having a terrible laugh track in the background, no laughter. It's just like Even Stevens, another show I've done that's similar to Even Stevens, Lizzie McGuire, the Life with Derek, Malcolm in the Middle, and Stuck in the Middle with those shows. No laughter in the background. That was one of the main things I love about this sitcom. So yeah, the episode that will play in the background as I explain my favorite moments and more what I like about this show will be one of my favorites, the new. So with that being said, let's get started right now.
I can't believe it. First your parents fired Drew, and now this?
Episode, when it comes to Gabby, Rant, and Unsittables, season one of the show, in my opinion, was way better and way more exciting. Of the sitcoms, Gabby, Durran, and the Unsittables, and just roll with it. Their season ones were vastly superior to the season ones of Sticking to the Max and Cooper and Candy Ask the World. Season 2 was weaker in my opinion. Season 1 felt like a long, gigantic story movie arc. Season 2 felt like a gigantic filler arc with only a few episodes having major quote unquote plot points. That was the issue I had with season 2. Then when season 2 got really good again, it got canceled, as I'm going to talk about when I get to season 2. But right now, the much superior season 1, much superior season 1. So yeah, other things before I get to my favorite episodes and moments, other things I like about this show, the actors. This show is about Gabby Durran, portrayed by Callie Control, a street smart, rowdy, rambunctious, rebellious, but caring teenager who was in the shadow of her successful mother, who works as a news person, and her younger sister, and her younger sister Olivia Durran, who's a childhood genius. Gabby Durran, quote unquote, Gabby Durran is looking to carve her own place and is miserable, having recently moved to Havensburg, Colorado.
Born in an alternate dimension.
Having moved to quote unquote Havensburg, Colorado, from her hometown of Miami, Florida. On the first day, she tries to get kicked out. She tries to get kicked out of school. She meets Wesley, who becomes her best friend, and tag-along partner tag-along partner in her alien adventures, and she gets a job from Principal Swift.
Jeremy,
Principal Swift, who reveals he's an alien from the planet Gorbonia, and he has Gabby Red babysit his client Jeremy, who is also an alien. They're using a device to disguise themselves as human to fit in with human-based society. Human-based society, and Gabby Durran after a huge mishap in this episode, proves that she is capable of babysitting aliens and gets a new job as the #1 alien babysitter. Gabby Durran, thus setting forth the plot for the rest of the series. Callie Control portrays Gabby Durran.
158. I was 9 years old when I saw
Coco
my mother's
Crystal, I think that's her name. I know her first name is Coco, but I can't remember her last name. Portrays Olivia Durran, her younger sister, her mother. One of the other reasons I love this show is about the beautiful Valerie Ortiz, who's a gorgeous Latina woman, portraying her mother, Dina Durran. Durran. That's one of the main reasons I love the show. One of the main reasons any guy would like the show. And she's not too much older than I am. She's like, she's 30. She's 30. She's 37. She's 37 years old. She'll be 38 this year. She's 37 years old. Yeah. So what's her face?
Definitely panic.
Valerie Ortiz, Durran. So then you got quote unquote
Each person here has a reason, aka motive, to ruin my life.
What's with the hats?
The hats show how much they don't like me. The more
then
hats,
you
the more
got
dislike.
who's up there?
Obviously.
Then you got Nathan Lovejoy portraying Principal Swift.
The
Nathan
library.
Lovejoy, Colin Ferris
6 years ago, I
portrays
forgot
his
to
client,
return
the rowdy, rambunctious
desert garden nurse to the library.
Jeremy,
And
and
she has had it out for me ever since.
and Maxwell
She's a
Ace Donovan
sucker.
portrays Wesley,
Probably our top
portrays the
one.
character
Okay.
Wesley. Other characters in the show include
Big girl stuff.
telepathic cyborg alien hybrid in Sky, who has the ability to read minds, but if she reads too many at once, it'll fry her circuit. And you have her weird and awkward dad. You have various other aliens like Warrior Gal Callie, who is extremely violent. Drannis, Jeremy's sister, and Principal Swift's rival and chief advisor, whose name I can't remember at the moment. But then you got Susie Glover. Who of course is Gabby Durran's rival. So and then you got Julius, who works at the Nacho Libre's place, which is the Nacho Taco place restaurant they hang out at. So
I'm cramping real bad.
episode. Favorite and best.
I did it.
My favorite
I
and
knew
best.
it. Boom.
My favorite and best episode.
Feels like someone just took a nice pick straight to my quad.
You
My
really
favorite-
thought you could
My
stop me from
favorite and best
babysitting, didn't you?
episodes.
Babysitting?
You got the.
How would
you
what
got
I
the
did
pilot.
stop you from babysitting?
You got the pilot.
Because you... Wait. Why did you think we chased you down?
You have the
The
pilot
science
episode,
was
which is
deadly
the
in
plot of this
algebra.
picture with Gabby
I
Durran
squeaked one
beating
out and
everyone
landed
getting
on
a
you.
babysitting job.
Was
Then you
it
have
truly
episode
secret?
2,
Oh,
the
whatever.
episode where she's forced
Come on,
to
let's read the book.
forced to
And we're
reveal her
running out of
secret to
time.
Wesley, forced to reveal her secret to
Right.
Wesley or give up babysitting. Then you got episode 3 where someone
could've
later
saved
will be
him.
Principal Swift
But I
starts a
didn't.
horrible rumor
Sometimes when I
about her
close
being
my
Crybaby
eyes,
Durran, which is the title of that
you'll see his
episode.
face.
Then you got
Pleading with me.
those were 3 awesome
Not
episodes
like
to start the
this.
series. Now we get to the
Not
best
like
episodes.
this.
Then you got episode 6, Olivia runs a rival
that's all
where Gabby
my
Durran's
secret.
rival Susie, who's also the real babysitter and has a perfect
Isn't bonding
Five-star
wonderful?
babysitting,
Care to share any
five-star
secrets of your
babysitting
own?
record with several great reviews.
good.
Throughout this
Are you
episode.
sure?
Gab-
I must
oh,
say, it
oh,
really is quite
Gabby,
cathartic. There must
Olivia
be
wants to
something you'd
spend
like
time
to
with
share
Gabby
with me.
Durran, but Gabby Durran wants to do other stuff.
Nope, nothing.
And so Dina
Gentlemen, do you
Durran
have-
prepares to leave her with a
Is
babysitter
there
named Miss
something
Crinsall, something
on
like
your
that.
face?
Miss Crinsall,
I
who
have no idea
Olivia
what you're
hilariously
talking
says
about.
smells like
I
funeral
really
and
feel
sadness.
like there's something you want to tell me.
Sadness.
Nope.
I see what this is about.
Instead,
You're
the
still
mother
upset with me, aren't you?
so instead the
I was a fool
mother
to think revealing my own
hires
secrets would be
Susie,
enough. Clearly,
Susie, who
what
Gabby
we need
immediately takes
is
a
more
disliking to,
bonding.
and Susie takes a disliking to Gabby Durran, who
I
both are
hope you're
opposites.
ready to
Susie
do
is
a
tidy,
lot of
is
trustful.
tidy and neat, is tidy
I
and neat,
trust you.
is tidy, and in an alternate universe would be actually be the main character. Would actually be the main character. Actually be the main character. And actually was later it was Principal Swift's first choice to be a babysitter, but he went with Gabby Durran. And Gabby Durran is a carefree, rebellious, street smart, unorthodox teenager, the one you really wouldn't trust. So we both these two are polar opposites, and immediately take a disliking to each other.
Considering how you ruined my perfect babysitting reputation. But no,
Take
I
a
definitely
dislike
did
to
not
each other.
send you any notes.
Gabby Durran tries to
And if
spend
I
time
had,
with Olivia, but
it would have been
Olivia
on my
is immediately
personalized
bonding with
stationery.
bonding with Susie when
Is that
when
vanilla? Is that vanilla?
Susie
It's Tahitian mint. Do you even smell?
when Susie quote unquote takes when Susie takes Olivia Durran to the fair,
So, guess it wasn't
she
Susie.
quote unquote
I
locks
know.
Gabby
We've
inside
spent
her
all day
room.
eliminating
She locks
suspects,
Gabby
and we've
inside
gotten
her room,
nothing.
and Gabby manages to escape by breaking the door off its hinges.
And now there's only a few hours until everyone knows about the games, and Swift and Jeremy are carted off by government officials in hazmat
with a
suits.
delicious
What are we gonna do?
delicious candy ice pop
Why is my mom calling?
for Susie to eat. Instead, Olivia eats it. The episode is called Olivia Runs Wild. Olivia goes crazy and starts running around, tearing up the place. There's
Gabby
also a
is a liar,
subplot
ask
where
her about
Jeremy
her
is bonding. Jeremy is bonding
That one
with
messing with my family?
What are you
Jeremy is
talking about?
bonding
Who?
with bonding and getting to
Is there
know.
something you need to tell me?
Getting to know
No,
what's
everything is fine.
getting to know
You're hiding something from
getting
me.
to know
I can
getting to
tell
know
by that
Wesley.
nervous
At
sweat
first,
mustache on your upper lip.
Jeremy doesn't like Wesley, but when
not
Wesley
hiding
pulls a
anything.
prank,
I
when
just
Jeremy
have
pulls a
important
huge
things I need
prank
to
on
take care
Wesley,
of,
and
and you're
Wesley
keeping me
actually
here for no
approves of
reason
the
at
prank,
all.
the two become
I need to
friends.
go.
The two
I
become
know. But you
the two
cannot
become
talk
friends.
to me
Back
like
to
that.
the
I don't know what's
back
gotten
to
into
the-
you,
back
but I
to
think
the
you need to
main
go
plot.
up to your room
Back
and
to
do
the main
not
plot.
come down until you're
Back
ready
to
to
the
be
main
honest
plot.
with me.
Back to the
Mom!
Now.
So yeah.
And do not
Gabby,
even think about sneaking out because I'll be checking on you every 20
Gabby then
minutes.
does some invisible basketball trick which Olivia loves, and that turns Olivia back to normal. And when they get home, they're busted by Dina Durran, who's come home and wonders why Gabby's door is off his hinges.
Tick-tock,
Olivia takes
Gabby.
up for her sister by revealing that it's all Susie's fault, as Susie locked Gabby Durran in the room, and all Gabby Durran wants to do is spend time. And Dina Durran is forced to give Susie a poor rating, a poor review, thus ruining Susie's good babysitting record. And Susie, in a post-credit scene, swears vengeance, quote unquote, swears vengeance.
Gabby,
Then you got the next
you're not gonna
episode,
believe this.
Sky,
I gotta
Gabby
leave.
Durran and Sky's
What?
virtual adventure,
Okay, so
where
I
Sky
have this
wants to
amateur
experience
fingerprinting
Earth
kit and
culture,
thought I'd give
wants
it
to
a shot,
experience more
and
Earth
I was
culture and
able
live
to
life
pull
at the
two
fullest,
fingerprints
but her
off
dad
the nose.
entrusts
No
Gabby
way,
Durran to
that's
keep her
awesome.
safe, or
Yeah, so
Gabby
a
Durran
bright
will
man
be able to
is
see her
caught
again, and
with
Sky won't be able to be her
Not just the
friend.
stereotype Gabby
They
got
sneak
from
all
making
over an
donuts.
amusement park.
And?
They sneak
One of
all
the prints
over a
can be
quote-unquote
identified, but
amusement
the
park.
other one belongs
Gabby
to none other
Durran,
than
Gabby Durran
Troy
sacrifices herself so Sky
Librarian.
can escape, but Sky
told you she had it out for
comes
me.
back
It feels good
to
to be
Gabby
right.
Durran being a quote-unquote true friend,
represent the note
being a
in
quote-unquote
paper from
true
the library.
friend,
We can find another clue there.
and
We don't have much time. I'll meet you there.
being a true friend, and the Sky's dad at first bids Gabby from
Figure out how to sneak out of this room.
but convinces Gabby convinces him that she
Yeah.
wanted Sky to get out and
Hey, what are
see
you
the
doing?
world,
Swift
and
and I
that's
been
what they
bonding.
did. But
It's awful.
so he
You
allows
guys
Sky to
matching
continue to see Gabby Durran, but Sky
Can we
is
come
still
over and help you with
grounded.
something?
Sky
Like,
is still
right now?
grounded, and
I'll be
Olivia
right over.
Durran and Dina Durran grounds Gabby Durran. Gabby,
Hello?
Gabby Durran. I can't remember what the subplot was.
Hello?
Then you got quote unquote then you got quote unquote the note. Then you got quote unquote the note, what you're watching right now, when Gabby Durran and Wesley receive an anonymous note that knows about Gabby Durran's babysitting. At first they rush off and think it's something else, but then it was really about babysitting aliens. They go throughout the episode hunting down everyone from Jace to Susie, who you heard earlier. Jace to Susie, even the librarian, Choi, who's had it out for Wesley since he refused to return a buck.
Here, eat this.
Return of what's his name. At the end of the episode, it's revealed that it's Olivia Durran who did all this stuff, who quote unquote did all this stuff. She reveals that she did because she didn't want Gabby Durran babysitting aliens. It's dangerous, and Olivia reveals she also did it because Gabby Durran wouldn't stop and talk to her. She just brushed off and said it's big sister stuff. Olivia revealed at the end of the episode when Bina busts them again. Olivia once again stands up for her sister, saying she did all the stuff. She wrote the note and did all the stuff. So yeah. So yeah. Then
don't let my mom know that I'm not you.
Then next is
you're not me. Or, you get it.
next episode is who is Joey Panther? Who is Joey Panther? The big dance episode where Gabby Durran is planning the perfect dance. There are multiple plots. In Gabby's plot, Gabby is having a hard time. Gabby's having a bad day at the dance, so she meets a guy named Joey Panther who turns out to be built by an alien, by a tiny alien android based on Gabby's dislikes. And then there was a B plot involving a girl from Wesley's childhood who gave Wesley her pudding and he promised to take her to the school dance when they became of age. She constantly hilariously babies Wesley in public. Then we got the next episode, the fake news, where news is slow in Haynesburg. So in order to quote unquote news is slow in Haynesburg, and Gina's thinking about moving. So in order to keep her here, they come up with an idea. They come up with an idea to create fake news. They create fake news, and that's with using the other aliens. There's also a hilarious subplot where Principal Swift pranks Wesley by having him clean some stuff, and Wesley is wearing a weird Ghostbuster suit that looks like a chicken costume. This is Joey Panther, the first 2 episodes of Gabby Durran and Unsittables I actually saw. I've been a huge fan ever since. Then you got Vortex and Night Train, where Gabby Durran and Wesley accidentally kiss and get into trouble with some aliens who were looking for the tech that accidentally made them kiss. Then you have the awesome two-parter which mixed together makes an hour-long episode. Enter the Dranis, where Gabby goes on a forbidden babysitting mission by Principal Swift to the planet Gormonian, gets kidnapped by Wesley's sister Dranis, and it's up to gets kidnapped by Jeremy's sister Dranis, and it's up to Wesley, Jeremy, and Principal Swift to quote unquote save her. And Gabby manages to stop Dranis from blowing up the earth, but just when they get back, Gabby Durran's mother walks in on them. And learns about the babysitting secret. Learns about the quote-unquote babysitting secret. And that closes out Season 1. Season 1 ends on a huge cliffhanger, setting us up for the very awesome Season 2, which didn't appear till 1 year and 2 months. 1 year and a half after the Season 1 finale aired. So with that being said, let's get ready for Season 2.
So you could tell me it's big girl stuff and slam the door in my face again?
Hey everybody, it's now time for the second and final part to my Gabby Durran and the Unsittables. Gabby Durran and the Unsittables Season 2 review and overview. This is my review of Season 2, which unfortunately is the final season of Gabby Durran and the Unsittables. This awesome series came to an end November 29th, I think. Yeah, November 29th or 27th, 2021. 2021. Despite, I'll talk about that later. But yeah, Gabby Durran and the Unsittables is one of Gabby Durran and the Unsittables Season 2. This season I've been waiting for ever since it was announced. This was renewed for a Season 2. I think it was renewed for a Season 2 right when Season 1 premiered, or at least immediately after. I've been waiting, and I'm mad at Disney Channel's treatment of this show. Firstly, Disney Channel. I'll talk about that later. Anyway, I've been waiting for Season 2 since it was announced, and then when it premiered, finally, the first episode, Mom Wipe, was nothing short of awesome. And yeah, this season it started off good, but it quickly went downhill quickly. This was a good season, but this was weak in comparison to the very awesome Season 1. Like I said in Season 1, Season 1 felt like a legitimate story arc and almost a film epic at times. This felt like gigantic filler. There were some episodes that were part of the ongoing Gabby Durran and the Unsittables story arc and were sequels to Season 1 episodes. Most of them were mostly filler episodes that didn't really add much to the story, and the show and the season had its up and downs. It is high and low points. It started off good, then quickly got terrible. Then around episode 7 and 8, it quickly picked up again before the show took a break. Then the show made a brief return before taking another break, and this return, it really wasn't that good. Then their big Halloween comeback was phenomenal. The next couple of episodes were okay. The last 3 to 4 were phenomenal, especially the last one, which was the last one, which was 2 episodes, just like with Season 1, 2 episodes mixed together to form an hour-long premiere, and the other 2 and 2 others before it. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about those episodes in this video right here. The episode I chose to play in the background is one of the last episodes, the episode before the final episode, and that was Magical Hours. That won't play in the background. I thought about the season doing the actual series finale episode, but that's just way too long. So this one right here.
Your Revolution isn't gonna know what hit it. We're like the best duo of all time.
Move over, ketchup and mustard.
Because when we get together, Wes, it's beautiful. Magic happens.
So yeah, this season right here was quote unquote. So like I said, yeah, this season my favorite and best episodes this season, the pilot, Mom's Wife, which this episode immediately picks up where the season 1 finale left off. After saving the world from being blown, after saving the Earth from being blown up by Durran, as soon as they return, everything is all well. However, their mom walks in on them in the control room, and overhears them talking about aliens, talking about quote unquote aliens. The mom prepares to call the cops, call the agency, call everyone, but Principal Swift stops her. So throughout this episode, Gabby Durran has to go in her head and wipe her mind clear of any aliens. This has effects in the next episode. This plot continues in the next episode too, which was also pretty good. Episode 2. Then you had episode 4. Then you had episode 4. Shoot. Episode 4. Shoot done it. This was a great episode. This was a great episode. The episode featured Gabby Durran wanting to raise money to buy some cool light up sneakers. Some cool light up sneakers. However, so she hosts a garage sale selling a bunch of stuff, and she actually sells an ancient family heirloom in their family that is actually part of their heritage and part of their journey here to the United States. So Gabby Durran goes on a quote unquote mission to get it back from Blurt, the guy who sold it to Blurt, a guy who looks like a guy who looks like Jared Leto's Joker, Joker, and Data from Star Trek. Data, I think that's his name, from Star Trek: The Next Generation. He quote unquote he was the one who he's the one who sold it, and then he sold it to some weird alien tribe people, some weird quote unquote alien tribe. Who worship who purchased the deity and worship it. Gabby Durran gets it back, but she has to give up something, and she has to go for shoes, and they eat the shoes. The only thing I didn't like about the episode, them eating the shoes. That was just stupid. Then, but great episode. Then you had episode. The next episode, episode 5, was one of the worst episodes where Gabby Durran's friend, Mimi from Miami, I think her name. We've heard about her throughout season 1, and I was looking forward to seeing her in season 2, and it was such a disappointment. It was such a disappointment. The episode was weak. Then you had the next episode.
There's not much we can do about it.
Kicked me with the next episode about it. Then you had the next greatest one, which was the Mile, where Gabby Durran and Principal Swift fight for the first time as Gabby tries to do everything in her power to get out of her physical exam, which is a gigantic mile around the track. Gabby tries to get out of it. Tries to get out of it. So she has a robot in her likeness built to take her place in this stupid physical exam. How the robot goes crazy and tries to murder everyone, including Principal Swift and Gabby. Eventually they wake up and she's forced to take the great episode and huge improvement over the previous 2, especially episode 5. Then you got episode 8, a song about Susie. Love this episode. And this episode, I'm not going to talk much about the plot, but it centers around Gabby and Susie wanting to meet the author of their famous book series. In order for that to happen, is the contest is for best friends. Gabby initially tries to do it with Wesley, but Wesley is uninterested. So Gabby is forced to do it with her arch rival Susie, and Gabby and Susie agree to pretend to be friends. While pretending to be friends, they actually become real friends until a misleading email causes them to drop their friendship. But they still agree to pretend to be friends so they can meet their author. The jig is up, and they're eventually caught. They managed to sneak away with the quote unquote page. I think, and this is the episode where Gabby and Susie finally settle and patch up their rivalry and sort of become frenemies. They still occasionally lock horns. They occasionally lock horns once or twice more after this. But they for the most part patch up their rivalry in this quote unquote episode right here. It was good because the Susie character, I hate how she was constantly seen as an antagonist. She didn't seem like a bad character. In an alternate world, she would be the main character. She would be the main character and was probably, she would be the quote unquote main character. So I'm happy to see Susie and Gabby patch up their rivalry. Then you had episode I mentioned the show after the next couple. The show taking a break for a while. Then they return with the very awesome Hunt for Rad October. Not Hunt for Rad October, but the Flight Master episode. I was thinking of Sitting to the Max episode, Halloween episode, which aired with this. But the big Halloween episode, the Fright Master, where a series of unfortunate events is happening at the school. And Gabby, of course, is determined. Gabby is determined to prove that it's nothing but an unfortunate series of events. Wesley thinks it's from the Flight Master, which Gabby doesn't believe in. When we get to the end, Wesley, along with everyone, pulled a gigantic prank on Gabby. Because she didn't take the Flight Master rumor seriously. So it was all gigantic, elaborate prank by Wesley. Which is kind of really disappointing. I wish it was something, but this was a great episode. Then you had
the computer we did it on was soaked to death.
Then you had the Grandma Ruth episode where their adventurous grandmother comes to visit and they expect her to be adventurous, but she's older and injured can barely move now. So what they do, Gabby gives her from Warrior Girl County some energy drink that makes her strong, that makes her feel younger and stronger. Or it makes her feel younger and stronger. It also makes her violent and crazy. I'm gonna leave that. Then you got the much superior Adventures and Misadventures in Babysitting. I think that Adventures in Babysitting episode where Gabby wants to go to a cool party, but Wesley forbids her. She has a babysitting assignment, so Gabby decides to take the assignment to the party. The guy, Chaz, who hosts the party, doesn't want to buy her anyway because she's so extra. She's too extra. She's so extra, but Gabby tries to prove she isn't. But so the girl blasts the house into space, leading to various mishaps during the episode. Then you got the episode Shoe Done It, where Gabby's shoes get ruined and she brings in everyone except for Dina Durran, who's absent this episode. Dina Durran, who's absent this episode as a suspect. Everyone tells convincing stories, but Gabby doesn't believe any of them and believes someone broke her shoes, and it's revealed that all of them had a part in messing up her shoes by accident, but they created these elaborate stories because they couldn't bring her to tell the truth. They couldn't bring her to tell the truth. Great suspense episode that could have went either way. Then you had the episode Magical Hours, which you're watching now. Gabby Durran and Wesley are paying attention in class, and they get unknowingly paired on a project, on a history end of the year history project. If they don't pass or turn in this project on time, they'll have to go to summer school. Gabby Durran and Wesley, with Wesley's computer, quickly solve the project. However, something happens to the project, and they need to go to the alien. Blurt, to quote unquote restore the project. He gets kidnapped, and so they try to find various ways to restore the project. At the end, they accept their fate and prepare for summer school. It turns out Blurt managed to escape and get their project turned in get their project restored and turned in right on time. Thus, quote unquote, and Blurt then says, you guys, tells Wesley he inspires him, and never stop being him, and that ends that plot, and everything is resolved. There was also a subplot involving Olivia Durran, but I'm not going to talk much about that. Then you have the series finale, The Fault in the Sky. The Fault in the Sky. Gabby Durran is approached by a group of aliens with the acronym of DUMB. I keep forgetting what it stands for, but the acronym of DUMB. They forbid her from quote unquote going to a party. Going to a party with a new guy. With a quote unquote new guy, and still give her a babysitting assignment. Gabby thinks she can do both,
she could do both, and the guy, the crush she wanted, ends up the alien ends up getting free, and the guy finds out about the alien, and as such, since that was a no-no, the dumb people erase Gabby's memories and send her back into the erase her memories and send her back into the past, but she slowly and slowly manages to get everyone to remember everything and recovers her memories and manages to restore balance. However, there's a huge cliffhanger on who Gabby Durran really is in the post-credit scene. And a subplot before I continue with the post-credit scene. The character of Wesley. Oh yeah, the character of Wesley. Oh yeah, remember the character of Jeremy. The character of Jeremy wants to quote unquote start public school, and Principal Swift goes on an elaborate test to try to prove he isn't ready. But the whole test proved that Jeremy is ready, because even Jeremy, as goofy as he is, sees that at the end the final two tests have nothing to do with actual public school. Anyway, this going back to the post-credit scene. The post-credit scene reveals who Gabby Durran really is, and we'll never know because 6 days later they announced that this show was quote-unquote canceled. Another good episode that I forgot to mention was Dude, Where's My House, where Principal Swift goes away for the weekend, and Jeremy and Gabby are hanging out together. Gabby bails on Jeremy to go to some old school hip hop convention boutique sale I think, and Jeremy gets back at Gabby by with one of his alien friends setting up a hilarious elaborate prank to sell the house Principal Swift left him in charge of, while Principal Swift goes to some cat musical, which is not actually a cat musical, but it's some kind of cult with people dressed, weird freaky cult with people dressed as cats and acting all sexual and stuff. So that's what that subplot was. That was a little great episode I forgot to mention. But other than that, these were my favorite and best episodes. The other ones were fairly entertaining, but they were kind of weak and they felt like filler. And I'm not going to really discuss much. By the way, the link to watch my original Gabby Durran and Unsittables night and daytime review, my daytime version, will be in the links in the description box below. And for people watching on YouTube, the links to watch these series, to watch these franchises and sitcoms and shows I'm talking about, the links will also be in the description box. And if I forget, for people on YouTube, just ask me and I'll provide the link if I forget to add it. But yeah, now for me to rant on what I did like, now for me to rant on what I don't like about Gabby Durran, what I'm mad about, and that was, see, I figured with the low ratings that I fear that this could be the last season of Gabby Durran and Unsittables. When I saw the piss poor ratings, but then I thought to myself, piss poor ratings, but if Disney Channel was concerned about low ratings, they would have to cancel everything, because like I said, nobody's watching your channel. Even nobody's watching your quote-unquote channel, so I figured Gabby Durran and Unsittables would be finished. Then when I saw the plot for the pilot, I thought, this plot could do two things. Wrap up the series for good, or it can close the series for now, but start again in the future. So I feel it can go either way. When I saw that he was spoiling, there's no doubt there's a season 3. All of a sudden, days later, Nathan Lovejoy, who portrays Principal Swift, had the audacity to announce that this show is canceled. And I prayed and hoped that he was wrong. Hope that the season 2 is finished and that he wasn't told there will be any more. And that he wasn't told about the potential season 3. They left him in the dark and he was just speculating that he wasn't getting another season. Please. But then Colin Farris, who portrays Jeremy, later confirmed, and that same day Disney confirmed this, and they also finally confirmed the cancellation of the show Just Roll With It, which that had been over for months, but Disney refused to acknowledge it. They had it on Disney Now for several months before finally removing the show. Yeah, right there I was mad. Right on a cliffhanger, and spoiler, we'll never know. You cancel the show. And so now there are various factors. The one factor I keep hearing about, I heard a fan say this. I haven't heard anyone involved with the show say this. Anyone involved in the show say this, and I can't find anything on it. And that was Gabby Durran was canceled because it was way too expensive, and the low ratings just weren't helping. Well, the expense part I guess can't be helped, but the low ratings bullshit. The low ratings, I already explained that.
Yeah, boy.
Gabby Durran, any Unsittables. Of the shows you had, this one and Just Roll With It were shown released. They were even shown lesser than Singing to the Max and Cooper and Cammy Ask the World. Those two got better and more airtimes than this show did right here. This show ain't Just Roll With It. These shows were barely on. This must be their newest premiere shows. The shows and the actors should be on Disney Channel all the time. Yet the show is barely on. I caught this show during the unannounced afternoon time slot and reruns after the show, after season 1 and finished these reruns, which come in the fall. You completely take the show off the air for several months and then don't even announce when the season 2 will actually premiere. It was rumored, and of course it turned out to be June 2021, but there was no actual date when the sequel will premiere. Finally, June 2021, the sequel premiered. Up until then you brought the show back for reruns, and then with no hype or anything, then you decided to air a 30-second promo telling you, hyping you to go see season 2 of Gabby Durran and Unsittables, and then you finally show a late night season 1 marathon of Gabby Durran and Unsittables to set up season 2. And you're surprised when you have lower ratings than expected. Lower ratings than expected. Disney Channel. They have more time to air old school shows over their new currently premiering shows, and that angers me to no end, man. They can't even show these shows in reruns, man. They not only cancel them, they silently cancel them. They have actors and actresses announce the cancelizations. Then they quote unquote can't even show them in reruns. They remove all references to the show as if the show never exists. The production website is gone on Disney Now. It was up for several weeks before finally being removed. It's still on the production website. The production website and his YouTube channels are the only, just like with Cooper and Cammy Ask the World, are the only hints that this was ever a Disney Channel show.
I'm going back to bed. You should get to bed.
Disney Channel show. So, yeah. And going to the expensive part, I don't see how expensive this show could be. It ain't like you have to have special effects in every episode. And special effects were as cheap as can be, were as cheap as it could be. The CGI was as cheap and old school as it could be.
The ferret can have my garden. I don't care anymore.
Well then, Olivia, good night, or good morning, or whatever time.
Then why would you get people's hope up for season 3 if you knew you were never going to do it? If you knew you were not going to do season 2, why would you get your hopes up? And I think the last one, I've said this once, if Raven's Home and Bulk season 5 keep getting season 5 and 6, respectively, there was no excuse why you couldn't renew Gabby Durran and Unsittables and the other shows. It was because these shows, Gabby Durran and Unsittables, Singing to the Max, Just Roll With It, and Cooper and Cammy Ask the World, these were brand new franchises, so it would take hard to sell these to people, whereas Raven's Home and Bunk are sequels to established franchises. Thus, you can milk these for as much as you can milk and rely on these for as much as you want.
I will be grading you on the file I received 10 minutes ago.
You can, and that's the issue I have.
Great minds
with Disney
can
Channel.
knock few
Well,
minutes
once again,
of
rewatching this show,
personal freedom I
was
have
a
before
blast.
I
And Gabby, Durran and Unsittables made 2021, 2020, and 21 awesome, especially the week of 2021. This is Seeking to the Max made Fridays and weekends awesome, man. These shows back to back, along with Raven's Home and Just Roll With It earlier, and Bunk Season 5 earlier in 2021. 2021, and I'm mad that despite these shows just like Seeking to the Max just started 2 years ago, is already finished. Well, watching it again was nostalgic, still nostalgic and fun. It's still nostalgic and fun. It's the best and worst show. Best and worst show. Best show for all the things I listed in part 1. Worst show because they canceled it way too early over BS reasons and canceled on a cliffhanger. At least the other sitcoms and situation comedy successfully concluded and ended their shows. This one successfully concluded and ended this show, but canceled it on a quote unquote cliffhanger. But I'm not going to use the Sonic what I made. I'm going to use the back in time because I wish I could go back to 2020 when these shows were new. It seemed like they were going to be the future. So with that being said, you don't hear the rest of the music, turn the video off right now.
Before it was due? How is that possible?
Magic, baby. Magic.
Is it me, or have we been here before? Why don't we go somewhere that we can explore? So let's get away from here, run to where the skies are clear. And we'll go back in time to another world where we'll feel alive. We don't have to with you by my side. There's nowhere we can go, and you can be my guide. As long as you don't want to fly. Take me there, take me anywhere you want to go, to a place that we both know. With you here, there is nothing left for us to fear. We'll make the bad guys disappear.